one is, the priest will say, remember, you are dust, and unto dust thou shalt return. And the other one is, repent and believe in the gospel. We are being reminded of our source, the beginning of our existence. We came from the ground. We were formed by God from the earth. And then we have to till the ground so that we have something to eat. And then we have to go back to the ground again. In other words, when we compare ourselves to God, we are just but nobody, and we are nothing. When the cemetery, La Filipina Cemetery, was revised, they collected all the bones, and you do not have a way of identifying which bones belong to a rich man or to a poor person or to a healthy person or to a sick one, to a handsome, beautiful, or ugly. Death is the greatest leveler. We become equal, all of us. So it really is a humbling thing to think about, to ponder on, especially during this Lenten season. When God created us out of nothing from the ground, and He breathed on us the Spirit so that we become alive. The word humility is actually from that word which means ground, humus. That's why we have the word humus, kanang tabunok nga yuta, kanang fertile ground, that is tabunok, that is humus. When a person is given a posthumous award, it is an award given to a person who is already 6 feet below the ground. That is posthumous. Humility is from that. A humble person, a person who has the virtue of humility, is grounded on the truth of his being, that he is from the ground. So we are being reminded of that as we enter into the season of Lent. Remember, you are dust, and unto dust thou shalt return. And the other formula is repent and believe in the gospel. Two things. So it is not enough to repent, to turn away from sin. We have to face the right direction. We have to do something positive. We believe. So it is not enough not to do evil things. We have to do good things. That's the fundamental difference between Confucius's golden rule and Jesus's revision of that golden rule. Because Confucius based his golden rule on the negative formulation, thou shalt not do. Do not do unto others what you do not want others do unto you. In other words, kung di ka gusto masumbagan, ayaw, panumbag. Ana lang. But Jesus reformulated that one in a positive way. Do something. Do unto others what you want others do unto you. So it is one thing not to do the evil things. It is another thing to do the good and the right things. So it is not enough to say, ayaw pangaway. That is the half of the coin. Because the other half is pangamigo. panghigala. Kaya it is not automatic that if we don't engage in fight, wala ta nang away, nga nangamigo na ta, lahi pa. And Jesus is pushing us to do something, a positive result, good works. That is basically the things that are expected of us during this Lenten season. We have to produce good works, corporal works of mercy, spiritual works of mercy, helping the sick and the needy, the poor. There's the reason for fasting. Why do we fast? So that we can save something and give what we save for the poor. That is the whole purpose of fasting. In abstinence, when we have to say no to our desire at times, we have to be in control of ourselves, not that we are being controlled by gadgets. Because sometimes that happens to us. It happens to me. If we are not so careful, Facebook eats us. It eats up our time. Kung di tayo magbantay sa Facebook, kurot atong time. Sila tag-ana-ana. So I have, for other reasons, I have to take down my account. Kaya pwede, magsige kag sunod sa mga kuan, mga updates, unsay mo abot, say mo hang wall, etc., etc. So, the virtue is moderation, control. That we have to say no when we have to say no. And we have to say yes when we have to say yes. Kanang makontrolar nato tong kaugalingon. That's the whole point of abstinence. Kanang kaya natong maingon sa atong kaugalingon nga dili. Dili. In the Psalm, the famous Miserere Nobis, Psalm 50, sin is described as missing the point. The Hebrew has a word for that, and it is hatat. Hatat is when you miss something, as in a target dart, di ka maka-bullseye. Wani mo na ego ang sintro. Kay dito hinuon ning ego sa jealousy. You miss the mark. Na-miss nimo ang goal, ang ato ang vision, na-miss nato. That is hatat, that is sin. When we miss God, that is hatat. And that is the saddest thing that a human being can be into. When he loses his soul, when he misses what's supposed to be achieved, missing the mark. St. Augustine has a very good explanation for that when he said, currit bene, sed extra viam. He runs so fast and well, but out of the way. Instead of going to Butuan, ang sayahang dalan, padulog Davao, tulin tuod kaayong murag manatad, pero mali nga dalan. Missing the mark. Missing the goal. Missing the vision. The second understanding of sin, also conveyed in that beautiful Psalm 50, is sin is like a stain, mancha. So let us be very careful because sin is like mancha and therefore it cannot be easily removed. Ang mansa ba, maglisod ka ug tanggal. Kaya di na siya ordinaryo nga kuan, nga hugaw. It is mansa. And the word for it in Greek is hamartia. mansa, stain. Because once we commit sin, it is almost like second nature to us. It is very hard to remove, and so we don't have to play with our destiny. We don't have to play with evil. Because once we get used to it, it is very difficult to remove and unlearn. Kung sala nga sigihan natog balik-balik, dugay kay na matanggal. Matanggal, kaya na sa grasya sa Ginoo, but it takes time. It takes effort on our part. It takes perseverance, living out virtues and values. And so sin is basically missing the point. Sin is not only about doing something that is bad or not doing something that is good. That is not only sin. Sin is not only within the realm of doing and not doing. Because sin is also being. It is a state of being, a condition. Kabutang na to ba? Kabutang. If we are far from God, we are in the state of sin. Kinakaibaw ta kung sa to itong gihimo nga dautan o wala, dapat nga layo ta sa Ginoo, we are in the state of sin. Not in the state of sanctifying grace. So kanang malayo ta sa Ginoo, and so we have to ask ourselves, kumusta man ko? Naabay ka ng paghinay-hinay o pagduol sa Ginoo. Naabay progress sa ako ang relationship with God. Because if there is none, we are in the state of sin. Because the absence of God is sin or evil. Yeah, the more that we come closer to God, the more that we get rid of that sin. Inversely proportional maning sala o kuan, relasyon nato sa Dios. Inversely proportional. The closer we are to God, nagkagamay ang ato ang sala. The farther we are from God, nagkadako po ang ato ang sala. Dili man ang close ta sa Ginoo niya, nagkadako po datong sala. Dili man yung nana. Mauna nga, once maghinay-hinay ta sa ato ang prayer, we are actually putting ourselves in jeopardy. We are compromising ourselves. We are compromising our soul. And so the invitation for us this Lenten season is to do some soul searching. Asa man ang ako ang kalag karon. And we are offered formula, to bring us back, to bring us closer to God. And so we have this fasting, abstinence, almsgiving, prayer, control of desire, trying to live out values and virtues. Let us therefore pray that we be assisted in our desire to always follow Jesus and come closer to Him day by day. We shall now have the imposition of the ashes.